Hey, yo, what's good? Welcome to Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast, presented by DJ City and Beat Source. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Crooked. We have Brooklyn's beloved DJ Goldfinger in the building.
What up, we're out.
Big shout out to our boy, Never Forever. Rest in peace, brother.
Yes, sir.
And we have invaded the Sound Collective studios here in New York City. We have a special guest. This producer, DJ, has been on our bucket list since we started the podcast. He's one of the most important producers in hip-hop who's helped define that iconic New York sound. He's amassed one of the most impressive catalogs in hip-hop, and it spans decades with unforgettable hits with the best lyricists, MCs, and rappers in history. We're talking Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, Big L, Big Pun, Coogee Rap, 50 Cent to OC, the list goes on and on. As a producer, he has the rare ability to create underground anthems as well as commercial platinum club bangers without compromising his creative integrity. And he has a new project with Saigon, Paint the World Black, which is an incredible album. Personally, I think it's maybe Saigon's best work to date.
Wow.
We are so honored to have him here. Please welcome Bronx legendary Dickin' in the Crates crew, Buckwild in the building.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was a dope intro. You know, you made me feel special.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wait, so thank you so much for being here. Goldfinger has been talking so much about y'all, and I want to know where y'all first linked up and connected.
What do you think?
Yo, we was little niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like barely DJing on vinyl. And that was the thing. It's like, you know,
Buck used to make mixtapes.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know. Buck used to make mixtapes.
Well, I feel like you've spoken about it. You've always been fascinated with blends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you start with blend mixtapes or nah?
I started with like new shit. Like I gave S, you know, the whole like 8-2.
Yeah.
That was 822 or 8 whatever in August. Like, yo, that was the tape that took him over the top. And I took my tape and it's like I gave him like, yo, you know, here's this naughty, here's this, and that was the thing.
Wait, you talking about SNS?
Yeah.
Ooh.
So he came out in the era where it was, you know, Ron, it was SNS,
Right.
it was WAP.
But we was all friends.
We was all friends.
Right.
So that was the thing. Like, oh, you know, I don't like that nigga Clue. Like, it was no thing like that. It's like, yo, if it was Clue, like, yo, Clue got along because Clue came at the end of the era. But it's like, yo, everybody was fucking with each other.
Wait, you just said you gave SNS Naughty and stuff. Were you the one that gave him some of the exclusive Naughty by Nature?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And LP gave it to me. You know?
LP who? Who's LP?
Easy LP, yeah.
Easy LP gave it to you.
Yo, he makes beats also.
Yeah.
And he makes, like he's a phenomenon.
Crazy.
You know?
Yeah.
So you might need to have him up here.
For real, I for sure
Come
need
through,
that.
LP.
Yeah.
Come through.
Wait, so you didn't give him Hip Hop Hooray, right? No, none of that shit.
I think
that's the one he called a beatdown for.
Nah, he called him beat down. He played like 4 songs from the Naughty album.
Yeah, but one of them was Hip Hop Hooray.
Yeah,
right?
but it's like they was able to play, you know, the single, but he caught the beat down because he's like, oh, you know, they played the whole album.
So y'all met just DJing, like where?
Well, I met him more so from the record stores because I used to work at B Street, of course.
Right.
But,
B Street.
That's right.
The Bronx.
Legendary B Street in Brooklyn.
Yeah, because
B Street in Brooklyn, B Street in the Bronx. And then we met we passed cross when picking up records because back in the days you had to go to the record stores, you had to go to the labels, you had to go get, you know, your goods. And then I remember seeing him, you know, peddling his beats. Like back in the days, it used to be a time when producers used to go to the studios and be like, hey, yo, I got, you know?
Just like every great producer in hip hop, there's always roots in DJing, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it starts
Yo,
with
but Premier is like, he's the architect of it.
yeah.
Like DJ Premier is like, yo, he's the best. Like when it comes to like DJing and DJing and doing beats is like, yo, hands down, nobody fuck with him.
But who initially kind of inspired you to move from DJing to producing, to focus more on producing?
Probably Diamond and Show.
Diamond and Show.
Yeah.
I heard a story where you heard a Rakim song, and that kind of inspired you, or it opened the door for you to think.
That was in school.
Yeah. What do you remember? What Rakim song it was?
I know you got Soul.
What school you went to?
This was in Bronx Regional.
Okay.
So I went to Princeton.
Okay.
But
you went
it's
to
like-
Princeton?
yeah.
Ooh. Print is like one of the famous high schools in New York where it's like, it seemed like every single delinquent rapper came out of that school. So many great stories from those guys from Smith and Wesson to who did you go to school with? Who did you go to school with? Like that was famous.
Gemini to get through. I didn't know who was who because it's like no one was really rhyming then.
Yeah.
So you know we was all hanging out and it's like you had the D.I.T.C.
Wow.
With Sean Price and them and it's like you had a bunch of melee in the school.
Wow. I didn't know you knew Gemini from school.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you went there and produced his joints. That's dope.
So that's true. Then you heard Rakim. I know you got soul, and in your head as a child or as a teenager, you were like, "I got do
this record."
Yeah, you were like, "Oh, that's how you make beats. You just take one, and you sample this, and then you're like, I could do that, pretty much."
Yeah.
Wow.
And after that, it's like, Show gave me a SO2 or I guess the SO1, and I started doing beats on the blend tapes.
How did you meet him though? Huh? Like he lives around your way or something?
No, I met Finesse, and Finesse wanted to do mixtapes in my crib. Like I walked in Rock and Will, and he's like, "Yo, can Finesse do beats? Finesse can Finesse DJ at your house?" He was like, "Oh, sure." It's like, he's like Finesse was famous. It's like, yo, he was the guy. Like, yo, Lord Finesse is here. Yo, this is crazy. And after that, it's like he took me. I met Show. I met Diamond. I knew AG from growing up, and he's in Mitchell's.
Okay.
And like no, he's in Patterson. He grew up in Patterson, and it's like, and I met him in Mitchell's.
Finesse has always been kind of like the glue, right? He's always just like, even with Big L, he just kind of meets people. He tries to like help everybody. He tries to look out for everybody, right?
He does look out for everybody.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of like Clark Kent. It's like whoever I speak to, it's like 6 degrees of separation of Clark Kent. It's like the same thing with Lord Finesse.
That was the vibe in the 90s. It's like everybody helped each other, and it's like, see, like, where it's like the story of like, giving S, all records for his tape. He probably had like half, but it's like I gave him the other half. It's like, yo, we looked out for each other because everybody was like, yo, get money.
Right. And it was like almost like if you made it this far, or if you were in this room, you were like kind of cool, and you were like,
it wasn't that many people doing it.
Yeah,
too.
You earned your way into that room, so like you was automatically kind of like,
yo, trust me, like Rock and Will, remember that?
I remember the
hard pack shit.
Yeah.
Like everybody would meet up there, and it's like he's like, yo, we got all these DJs. They come here, they sell their tapes.
Can we explain what Rock and Will is?
Rock and Will was a place on 125th where it was 2 stores, JJ Variety and Rock and Will. We sold our tapes on Rock and Will, like me, SNS. It's like a bunch of us.
Capri, Ron G.
Capri, and it's like, yo, that was the first place you could get Capri tapes. Well, matter of fact, probably the second place is like, yo, JJ Variety was first, and it's like, yo, they branched off and like got Rock and Will, and it's like, yo, they had a bunch of DJs, and it's like, yo, they was selling everybody tapes.
That was like the Tower Records for mixtapes at the time.
Yeah.
So if you made it to there, you kind of made it like on the DJ mixtape
making it to a store,
right?
period.
Right.
If you sold mixtapes, you made it.
Yeah. But I didn't think of it like, oh, I made it.
Nah, but if you were in the store, it was a big deal. Because,
like,
if you have somebody going in there to buy
Palace, like,
Patty LaBelle, and then they buying your joint, that's a big deal.
Yeah. But I never really looked at it as a big deal. I was just happy go lucky, happy to be here.
So this was earlier. How old were you, like making DJing, making tapes?
Probably 17, 18.
17. And then how did that lead to like Diamond, like making a beat for Diamond D? Like one of your first beats ever made was for Diamond D, right?
Yeah.
It was
he's like, yo, play me some beats. And it's like, oh, yo, this is dope. Do you mind if I put a string in it? And that's it.
Yeah. It was with Sadat X, You Can't Front, right?
Yeah.
That was one of your first beats?
Yeah.
How old were you then? Were you 17 or 18 around that time?
No, I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
19, 20. So you were kind of making beats for about 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And this was from
I was practicing making mixtapes. With the mixtapes, with the blend tapes, is like, yo, that came about.
And then this was one of the first beats you made from Showbiz's, Showbiz, right? He gave you an SL1?
Yeah, SO1. Like me and Finesse and OG, shout out to OG, like we all hung together, and it's like 3 1200s, 3 950s, and it's like that was that. But originally I went to Ness, and it's like, yo, I didn't have the 1200. Like he helped program it, and it's like he helped do the beat over.
You're playing beats for Diamond D. Were you nervous? Like trying to how many beats did you collect? What was it, a beat tape?
Yeah, I had about 5 or 6 or 7.
And you thought they were all bangers, or you were like nervous to play it for Diamond?
Everything you do is a banger.
You thought they were all
and
bangers.
even the wax shit is like, yo. But it's like, yo, after that, it's like I was selling beats like out of the trunk of the car.
Oh wow! Was some of your early beats? Was Time's Up? OC's Time's Up? Was that one?
Nah, that was 94. That was
94.
About 9 months later.
9 months later.
All right, so are you getting like record cues from Finesse? Are you like going through his records? Or are you going through Diamond's records? Where the records coming from?
Everybody collected their own shit. And you could trade, be like, oh, I got this, but it's like when you in a convention, it's like, yo, a gold mine. It's like a plethora of fucking, a wealth of artists like in the system. Like it's not like now. Now it's like people be like, oh, I heard like 5 remixes with Money, Power, Respect. Like that doesn't fascinate me. It's like, yo, do something new. And it's like, yo, when you do the new shit, it's like, yo, you create where it's like you can live on.
Tell me about these record conventions, right? Like who put you onto the record conventions, and who did you see there? Because I heard that was like a producer's haven for beats.
I don't remember who put me on, but it's like, yo, everybody was there. Everybody woke up early in the morning, and it's like everybody met the at the record convention. Like
The Roosevelt. Yeah.
I met Pete there.
Pete Rock, yeah.
I met Large there. I met everybody. I met Salon. These are the people that you could count on seeing Sunday carrying records. Q-Tip. Damn, man, it's like everybody who was producing in the 90s.
B minus.
Oh, beat miners. How can I forget
Capri.
about them?
Capri.
Skinny Walt and Evil D. No, Skinny, Evil D, and Mr. Walt. That was that. You know what I'm saying? So he's got he put on weight, and it's like, yo, and the dreads, and it's like, yo, that's crazy. But everybody who was somebody like coming up, you would see them in a convention.
Is that where you found the sample for the Time's Up record with OC at the convention? Where'd you find that? Do you remember?
Jazz Record Center.
Yo, roadies and roadies for life. You already know that we rock heavy with DJ City. It's our go-to record pool to download the latest music, edits, and remixes for our DJ sets. So now, Road listeners can join DJ City for only $10.
$10?
Only $10. That's almost 70% off the first month. Make sure you scan the QR code or click the link in the description or go to djcity.com/offer/road to jump on this great deal.
So I want to talk about the Time's Up record because I think it's one of the most important, impactful songs in hip hop. That beat, OC's lyrics, it was the first time there was a rapper like kind of calling out the fraudulent fake gangster persona. It was this raw, gritty, brash, lyrics, and the beat accompanied it. It was minimal. A lot of 90s production would have had the drums a lot louder, and it would have had like, you just kind of let the bass line really sink in.
But in the 90s, like you get shot for like, copying somebody else. And that's the thing, like, yo, you know what? Everybody wanted to be like, yo, you know what? I gotta make a jam where it's like Flex gotta drop bombs to this. And like Flex was like on Hot 97 then. But everybody was like, oh, like even following Pete Rock and Large Professor, these was the dudes that the architects like even premiered like, yo, I want that status. And when we did, it's like, yo, could I have that status?
The joint on the record, it said the Bare Bones mix. So it was very minimal. It was very,
Right.
very, very stripped down. And I think
No horn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Right. I mean,
Crazy.
you did have the
You had the
Buck
other version,
the
yeah,
Buck version
with the horns in it. But the stripped down joint is like hearing that. Phew, it was nuclear because it was like nothing sounded like that
Right.
at the time.
Why doesn't that happen now?
It can, but I think that what people want to hear and what they're being told to hear or told to like is different.
But I think Time's Up, OC Time's Up is the blueprint for hip hop samples now. It's like that minimal low drum, almost no drum, like sample loop. It's like what every like rapper is rapping on right now.
But it's faster. That's
Some
94.
of it is faster, but to me, everyone talks about like the Atlanta sound, the Miami sound, the Houston sound, New Orleans, Know Your Bounce, and we were talking about like what is the quintessential New York sound, and I was telling him it's like the New York sound is the 4 to 8 bar loop, sample loop, whether it has drums or not. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying that idea of a jazz sample or any kind of sample that can just run on a loop that's soulful and it has a heavy bass. That's like the New York thing. And to me, Time's Up, alone on it, without like the heavy boom bap drums, is the sound of New York to me, of hip hop.
I think the sound of New York was a plethora of samples.
Yeah.
You know, because like you had Reminisce.
Of course, yeah.
You had
Shook
Faking
Ones?
the Funk.
Yeah, you have faking
You had Shook Ones.
Right.
Like everybody did something different. And that was the thing, was like, so to have hip hop like, this is some New York shit. So for New York shit to be global,
Yeah.
everybody has to has different samples, and it's like not Reminisce like, I see like, I cringe where it's like it's like, the last joint that I heard was Money, Power, Respect, but even with Money, Power, Respect, that was such a classic record. It's like the name of the game is going after classics. You do it over, and it's like, you're gonna have a classic record, but it's not.
Did you always plan for Time's Up not to have a heavy drum on it? Did you have a version where you had a heavier drum?
No, that's what it is. Like what it is like, how it was done. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
But when you look back on it now, there's like a level of control, right? That you had even at such a young age, 2 years in the game, 3 years in the game, producing, to know that these drums are just good enough. They're perfect for this kind of beat.
Yeah, because it's like we was imagining like, smoke, like we was Quincy Jones, and it's like other people. It's like, that was our inspiration, because it's like, and like we had Pete Rock, and it's like, and Pete Rock is a god, because it's like he like the Pete Rock beats from yesterday, blows everything out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just that, it's like alone, it's like the remixes, like the records, like it's amazing. It's like an amazing feat. And I too wanted, like all of us wanted the Pete Rock. They wanted to be Pete Rock, but it's like he was the leader of commercialism, and that's what it is. So he had the commercial records that was underground, and that's what it is.
Right. And he also kind of set the tone for making the remix an exciting thing, right? For hip hop, where it's like, oh shit, we're looking forward to a Pete Rock remix, to a Buckwild remix, where it was this completely different interpretation of the original song.
Shit, man, and that, on that note, it's like, don't get it twisted. Like, original song is like, Diamond Show, like with the Goodfellas, it's like Runaway Slave. Like, it was so much dope music out where everybody, me and Show used to collect buy CDs on Tuesday morning and be like, did you hear this, or did you hear that? Like when we heard Timbaland, it was like, oh shit, this dude is crazy. Yeah.
Did the original Time's Up have the horns in it? No. What made you add that later?
I don't remember. Like, probably
Because
like I forget that there's horns in there.
Yeah. Well, I always remember the Buck. It's called I think the version's called the Buck Original. I remember hearing that on the wax.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if this was the original, and they told Buck to like minimize it, or like
it's a different sound though.
Yeah.
From each version, it has a different story. But I think the one that's like stripped all the way down, I think what made it special is basically what he was saying too. It was like it's a statement record.
Right.
It was like a straight up line in the sand. What he was saying, and then the beat was just like constant, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was dope because it's like that is like, yo, draw a line, yo, I dare you step over this.
Yeah.
You know,
And it was more like because of the statement, he was like, yo, time's up. Like all that other shit is over. Like, you know, we starting something new here.
Yeah.
And it felt like 94 though, because 94 was like one of those transformative years for hip hop.
Right.
You had
people nowadays people think like, yo, like Illmatic and Shook Ones are defined the 90s. And it's like, yo, it's a lot more music.
It's a lot more music that led to that uprising. You know what I mean?
Shook Ones is amazing though.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the best. One of the best. It's definitely one of the best. Definitely.
Yo, Havoc is like, yo,
and he was gonna erase it. And he was gonna erase that beat.
That's crazy. Havoc made so many dope beats, man. It's like, yo, it's hard to be like, yo, you know what? If it erases, like, yo, he probably got Survival of the Fittest behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's crazy.
Imagine that not being around.
And to hear the evolution from, you know, Hell on Earth, the second album afterwards, it was like completely different. The sound that
I love the Hell on Earth. I was like,
do you like that better than the second album?
I like both of them because it's like, yo, Nighttime Vultures. It's like, yo, it's like, yo, he went crazy on that.
Extortion.
And every
all types of joints.
Every album is like he changed the sound, and it's like, yo, they don't get it. It's like some people like, oh, you know, Havoc is dope. But like, yo, dig into Havoc. Like, yo, really, like, yo, what do you learn? You know what I'm saying? And yo, he's crazy with it. Like it's a matter like, yo, I heard a story like, yo, he like sometimes he would be drunk making beats. And like, yo, how do you get drunk making Shook Ones? Like, you know, Nighttime Vultures, and it's like, yo, crazy. And
the thing is, like, people didn't know where those records are coming from that Havoc was doing. It's like 20 years later, people would find a sample. It was like, how did you get that from there? You know what I mean? Like the Survival of the Fittest loop, the you know, the Shook Ones loop. I mean, it's crazy. Like those were loops.
I never cared. Like it was just dope because it's like, yo, this he flipped this dope, whatever it was, and it's like I'm not really tuned in like the samples, and it's like, yo, if I come across it, it is what it is, but you know, I don't look for it like, oh, you know, this the Shook Ones loop.
But you know what, y'all guys pretty much popularized that whole kind of race for finding out what the original was. Like, you know, you guys, Q-Tip and, you know, B miners and y'all guys digging in the crates. Y'all were the ones that really kind of set that. Because it wasn't even a term before that. It wasn't the term wasn't even digging in the crates like that.
Yeah, because a matter of fact, dudes was looking for the next thing. So you would stumble upon, oh, you know, oh, Havoc used this, oh, you know, Tip uses this, oh, Large uses this. And it's like that's what it is. It's like, and digging, it's like, yo, you go and it's like you find it, not go on the internet and, you know, be like, oh, you know, what's this? Like, you know, who sampled? Like, yo, go, what's this? And like, yo, you know, it's crazy.
Talking about the Roosevelt again, the Roosevelt conventions was like a breeding place where people would actually find the next loop.
Right.
And, you know, people doing all that shopping because there's quality records that you would find from all over the country. Yeah. And at that convention, some people got busy and found some joints. Probably they didn't even know that they caught at the convention and made a hit off it.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned it because, you know, on OC's first album, which you did like 60% of all the beats on OC's Word Life album, right? I want to talk more about that, but there's an interlude. And I want to ask you if you did the interlude before Point of Views, which is like the PSA sample, the Seed of Love, the Little Boy Blues, which is the original Jay-Z.
He didn't want to rhyme on it.
Look, we all know the Just Blaze, version of that sample.
Oh no, I'm gonna give you another one
with
the
PSA.
Black Moon at the same 94 too.
Right.
That was that all came from the same thing.
So
the idea.
Right. So here's the crazy shit. I want to talk about these interludes in the 90s that y'all will put in these albums, and what was the thinking behind it, because I remember like one of the most memorable beats was the Just the Way You Are Billy Joel sample with the Mardi Gras bells that Pete Rock had on the main ingredient. It was just like, and I was just like, why didn't he use this beat, or they couldn't clear the song? Like, what? I always wondered why, like, y'all producers put these interludes with these ill ass beats on them.
Probably they didn't want to rhyme on it. Like the reason, like that was before Point of Views. Like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna use it for an interlude. Like an interlude. Like, yo,
and it's almost like kind of claiming a beat to it.
But that's what I was gonna ask. Was it your way of kind of putting it on the record? Like, I had this first, but we didn't use it.
I think Pete Rock did it as a flex because he got thousands of beats. So I'm pretty sure he wanted
was that why you put that interlude on before the Point of Views?
He wanted, like, OC wanted the interlude before Point of Views. And I wanted him to rhyme to the song. And
he wasn't feeling it. Pause.
Well, I don't know. He couldn't come up with nothing.
Wow. But you didn't think to, like, I'm gonna hold on to this beat for later or anything?
Nah, it's like, if you're doing an album, you put your best foot forward. And that was the mood of 94.
Wow. And then when you heard Jay-Z PSA, were you kind of like, fuck? Or you were just like, I knew that was going to be a hit. I knew that beat was going to be a monster.
Let's say, like what Just did, like Just is like crazy with it. Like,
right.
The talking, like, yo, he helped on the Saigon album. Yo, he's a masterful, like, he's Master Splinter. You know what I'm saying? He's like that, but it's like, it's no wonder. It's like, yo, you know what? If he's gonna do the beat, it's like, yo, he's gonna knock it out. Because it's like, in the 2000s, like, just like the 90s, people was like, yo, there was a creative surge. You know what I'm saying? It's like, people was crazy creative. And, and like, the PSA shit, like, yo, he was, he knocked it out the park.
I've always wondered, like, what you thought of that. Because it's like, that to me, I always think that was like, damn, Buckwild had that beat first, Yo,
I listened to that crazy. I commend him, and it's like, yo, on the beat, it's like, he's crazy with it. It's like, yo, I never forget, like, yo, the talking, so some fucking, it sounds like some 70s shit. It's like, yo, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? And he did it right.
I asked a bunch of DJs, like, in a group chat. It's like the DJ group chat. I was like, can y'all give me, like, your top 5 records of all time from Buckwild? And I kind of wanted to list them from their top 5 list.
I'm not in this group chat. I'm offended. I'm offended.
Well, I wanted it to be kind of a surprise. I wanted to.
I'm offended.
I wanted to say the list and see if you agreed with it, and then I wanted to ask you what your top 5 favorites were.
Say to this.
I'm a hate. I'm a hate off top. I wasn't invited. I'm a hate.
All right, number 5, right? Kool G Rap and Nas, Fast Life.
Okay.
That's number 5. Number 4, Big L, Put It On. Legendary. Number 3, OC Time's Up.
That should have been number 1.
That should have been number 1. All right. Number 2, Black Rob Woe.
Yeah.
And then number 1, Notorious B.I.G. Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell. How do you feel about that list?
Damn, man. It's hard to top that list because it's like,
it's all yours.
Yeah. Not it's all mine. It's like, yo,
picking kids and shit.
That's crazy.
But how does that differ from your personal top 5 list for you?
I would say, it's so much to choose from. Yeah. Like, doing beats, and it's like, understand, like, every beat, like, yo, you step up, it's like, yo, you need a classic. And it's like, yo, every joint is like, yo, it's crazy, man. It's like, thinking of it like, yo, this is rocket science, you know what I'm saying? So to be like, oh, you know, like easy Pete Rock could be like, yo, you know, Reminisce is number one.
Right.
And, you know, like, of course, like, Story to Tell and Black Rob shit and Time's Up, like, yo, that's number 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Well, what's your 1, 2, and 3 for those three?
Whoa.
Is number 1.
In any order.
But I want to hear your order. I want to hear your order.
Oh, number 1 is Time's Up because that started it.
Yeah.
And next thing, I got A Story to Tell, and Whoa is Clean Up.
3.
Yeah.
And then what about 4 and 5? I'm so curious.
Damn it.
You gotta take your time. Take your time, because everyone wants to hear what
Is
your
4 and 5
is.
those songs that they had as 4 and 5, or is
Yeah, because the 4 and 5.
Yeah.
I would go with Fast Life.
Fast Life for 4.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And damn, man, it's like Artifacts need to be there.
That was
Which one?
crazy
The
beat.
original or the remix?
The remix.
Come on with the Get Down with
Come
Busta.
on with the Get Down. Remix is crazy.
Yeah.
You killed it with that remix.
Thank you.
How was that session with Coogee Rap and Nas? Were you there?
Yeah. I was at every session. It's not like now.
No.
Except for like 50 and the Faith record. I wasn't really there.
Oh, I Love You.
Yeah.
That was a bang.
I want to talk about that because I'm so curious about that record. But with the Coogee Rap Fast Life, you were there. Is it true that it was your idea to pair Nas and Coogee Rap for that song, for that beat?
Nah. He's like, yo, I want to do this joint with Nas.
That's crazy.
And
What did that feel like when you were in the studio and you just like you got the joint already with Coogee Rap, one of the greats, and then he says, I want to do this with Nas, and you're like,
No, it was before. Like, yo, I'm gonna do this joint with Nas. So, you know, I did the beat. It's like, yo, I knew Nas, but it's like,
right.
vaguely, you know, is producing Nas is like, yo, you know what? Do this or do that. Say this over and say that. It was like regular. It's like, damn, man. It was like, he's great. It was like, yo, you know.
You believe very strongly to be in the recording sessions with the artist, right?
Of course. That's the magic, know what I'm saying? That's what you could tell your kids about, know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, we was in the studio, you got stories, you got history.
Did you have to fight for that sometimes with certain artists?
Jada, he was automatic. Oh, we recording your joint tonight. Game, I was like, yo, you know, he came in town, it's like, yo, we recorded, Beanie, same thing. Like this is as time went on. It's like, yo, the only records I wasn't there, you wouldn't understand, which was Nas and I Don't Need 'Em and the Faith record.
Now, is that because of scheduling, or is it like a person's coming in from somewhere else, or did it tell you to get it, you know, track it,
Yeah,
come and do it?
Shoot, like Nas was in Cali, like, yo, shoot the record to Nas. 50 was like all over the place. It's like, oh, you know, you're doing your album. Here's the tape. Yo, this nigga recorded a new 50 record. This is the first record, you know, he did on his album. And the Faith joint, it was like that was not for Faith, but that was J-Lo wanted the record first, but Faith recorded it, and you know the shit that would happen, Puff. You know what I'm saying? It's like Faith, like, yo, you know what? I'll take this.
When you're in the studio with an artist, do you try to like give them a little pushback to challenge them a little bit? Do you want them to kind of like say it over or try it this way, or you kind of always just trust the way they do it?
Nah, I if I feel like, you know, the way it's enunciated, I'll say that, and it's like, you know, to change things up. But you know,
but you've been in rooms with like legends like Biggie, Big L, like Nas, like Big Pun. Like they've all been open to like criticism or changing things.
Yeah.
When you work with them. Wow. Even Jay-Z, I feel like Jay-Z would never like. He'd just be like, nah. That's one, two takes and I'm done.
Jay-Z does one take and then done. And he's done.
But could you ever tell Jay like, yo, can we try that one more time? And he'd just be like, nah.
If you can find fault. The dude is a perfectionist. You know, and it's like people like back in the days, people would aspire to work with Jay-Z. Yo, I wanted Jay Jordan. It's like and by the time, you know, with Just, man, it's like, yo, he did like 4 or 5 records with Jay on each album. He was the in-house producer, you know?
It was just all one, 2 takes, and that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's good? This is the R.O.A.D podcast, Reflections of a DJ. We're here in New York City, and we have invaded the Sound Collective. Now, I want to explain what the Sound Collective is. I got my man Lefty from the Sound Collective here. Lefty, thank you for having us and hosting this beautiful studio for us. Exactly what is the Sound Collective here in New York?
Modern, state-of-the-art facility with tons of production gear. And one side of it is you can be a member and you can come here and pay monthly to use the rooms and the gear and sign out time and our space. We have a state-of-the-art studio. We have all these production stations, DJ stations, instrument practicing rooms and such like that.
And you also like teach. You have like classes and sessions, right?
We have intensive programs, short-term programs that people can come and take Saturday classes on DJing, production.
There's like kind of a community building within where there's like DJs, producers, musicians.
Up and coming producers, people honing their craft and learning, and DJs and all these things. And they come here and practice, and we have all the new gear, so they come and check that out and get familiar. And a lot of DJs will come in from out of town being like, let me get a day pass so I can just get a refresh on the 3000s and the V10.
And what's great is that a lot of our guests, everyone from like Clark Kent to the technician to like Camilo, they come in here and they're just like, holy shit.
You want to play with all the gear, man? Yeah.
I didn't even realize this, but you guys have like studio spaces where people can do live streams and they can do their Twitch streams.
Yep. We got a whole green screen set up already, multicam, full on switcher. Like we also do a lot of events here. We're bringing a lot of outside talent, organizations. We got a big event coming up with DJ City, Beat Source, and Serato.
That's part of our family.
Yeah. We did a big one last year with them. We got another one coming up.
For our listeners, is there any way we could hook them up with a deal, or you know, like if they put in a R.O.A.D podcast code?
Yeah, tell me about it. What else do you have in vision for this deal? It sounds like we're well on our way. Why don't you tell them?
You're working with us where they can type in a code for like R.O.A.D.
Yep.
And they'll get a month free, right?
Yeah, on our online platform. We have a whole online platform with like masterclass style education.
Nice.
Different categories and everything, instruments, drums. I mean, and then we have these things that we're launching right now called Pro Paths. So you can choose, like if you're a producer, you can take the Ableton Pro Path, the Logic Pro Path, you know, Serato Studio. Goes through a wide variety of knowledge besides just stuff in that skill set and discipline.
So our R.O.A.D listeners, if you're in New York, you can check out their facility. You can do a day pass, a week pass, a monthly pass. You can check out their site. You have access to all the education online.
Soundcollective.com. We also have a YouTube channel that has some of our content from the educational courses, and all of our events are live streamed and put up there.
I hope we can come back here and use your facilities again.
Looking forward to it.
Shout out to Lefty and the Sound Collective. Thank you so much. When you had that one song with Biggie and the sample couldn't get cleared, was that like the most frustrating shit ever?
Yeah, because it's like everybody in the Arista building wanted the song. Puff wanted the song as is, and it's like he is like, oh, you know what? Just let Chucky play it.
Yeah, because you had like Clive Davis, you had Puffy call the original sample and just try to clear, and it was like no, right?
Yep.
How did you originally link up with Biggie to get that song done?
I knew Big since Red Hot Lover Tone days, and it's like he was always like, yo, you make dope beats, but it's like not can rhyme to it. And then when he got the tape, he's like, yo, it's a few joints I could rhyme to. Like, yo, I'm fucking with you.
How many songs did you end up recording with him?
Only one, but it's like before he died, it's like, yo, he had like about 7 or 8 to go.
Damn. So he picked, on top of I Got a Story to Tell, there were 7 to 8 other beats of yours that he was gonna rhyme on. Were there any of those beats given away to other artists?
I don't know. And time is like, yo, some beats get lost. Sometimes like, yo, I'll play beats and it's like, you know, or I'll send beats and it's like, oh, this dude didn't pick it. Just like, yo, just chug it to the side.
How was it? How was the recording session with Biggie?
The first part, I wasn't there, but when they did the interludes shit, I was there because he was hobbling around.
Yeah,
Like
just had that accident.
he had an accident with the cane.
Oh yeah, with the
No.
car accident, right?
Yeah.
Did he discuss the concept with you, or you just heard his vocals when you kind of were there for the second recording?
He's like, yo, he described the song and exactly how the
conversation at the end. Yeah.
He did the same thing when he like took his boys in the studio.
It's kind of a blessing that you guys didn't have to clear the sample because you probably got more royalties out of it, right?
Bingo.
You just had to split it with Chucky a little bit, or
Yeah,
yeah. That ended up working better though, right?
of course.
Now, how was it from working with him then to working with him in the early days when Real Love Tone and Organized with the For My Niggas joint?
As an artist, he grew, and it's like he grew immensely. Like he was like his rhyme scheme, and it's like the way he rhyme is like it was a lot smoother. And it's like a lot more mature. Cause it's like yo, he ran New York. By the time he got One More Chance,
Done
he's
deal.
like, oh, this is how I need to rhyme, and it's like that was it.
Because he was coming for heads early in his progression. He was just like barring, real aggressive, and his voice was different. Remember,
Yeah.
his voice just changed, and his voice just like Big Papa. You heard the heavier, laid in the beat type of style, and then from there was a rap.
Like I miss him, cause like yo, most artists rhyme about. Let me see, 85% of artists rhyme about coke. Like Jay-Z and them didn't do that. They would put a little coke in it, but it's like they have a story, and that's that.
Yeah, they go deeper than just the drug game.
Yeah, like one artist that I really fuck with is like they don't do that. It's like Rock Marcy, and Benny is an ill artist. Like Tanner Talk 3 is like yo, my favorite Benny album of all time. Like yo, he put his foot in there. He gave his life on that, and it's like I want to hear more of his life.
What's good, everyone? This is P-Dot from Reflections of a DJ, the R.O.A.D podcast. Whether you're just discovering the podcast or a day one listener, if you've been loving the content and want more, here's your chance to support the pod, get closer to the action, and unlock exclusive content by joining our Patreon. For just $5 a month, you can join our Tier 1 R.O.A.D subscription. This is for our loyal listeners who want early access to new episodes 3 to 4 weeks ahead, your name in the credits of every video episode, and access to our exclusive R.O.A.D edits pack. For the hardcore supporters, we've got our Tier 2 R.O.A.D for Life subscription for just $10 a month. This is the all-in package. You'll get everything from Tier 1, plus a monthly bonus episode, early access to our exclusive R.O.A.D 10 and R.O.A.D Talk interviews, behind-the-scenes content, our In the Crate series, along with unreleased projects. This is your chance to support the podcast and get more of the content that you love. Join the family today at patreon.com/R.O.A.D podcast. Check the link in our descriptions. We appreciate you, and let's keep this journey going.
I think there was an interview with Joey Badass, and he said 2025 is the best year of hip hop in a long time, but may not be for like club hip hop.
Ain't no club records.
Yeah, there's no club records.
I think certain people be like, yo, this is a club hit. Like the Toxic Love shit. It's like yo, that's a start. But it's going. It's like it's slowly going. It's like sometimes on Instagram, like I seen this female sing. It's like yo, she got a dope song. I'm like yo, this could probably work in the club. And we abandoned the club. It's like you abandon club, for bars. There ain't no bars in the club. People dance in the club. Like the Benjamins is like yo, you know what you want to do. You want to be ballers, shop. Yo, it's all not bars. It's like rap isn't bars. It's like rap is rapping along with it. It's like the bars. Like yo, you know what? That's something different.
I got a little pushback with that because Time's Up was in the club. I think it's just the mind state more so than more so what people are saying on the record or the beat at one point. It's like it changes.
But Time's Up wasn't a bar record.
Wasn't a bar record as far as what he was saying?
Nah.
Really?
You think so?
Nah.
Nigga, he was spitting on that.
But he's spitting, but it's like it's classic. You like the minerals and vitamins, iron and niacin. Fuck who did I offend? He's telling a story like if he's a preacher like on a pedestal, and it's like yo he's laying it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not going bar for bar.
Really?
No.
Wait. So, what do you consider a bar for bar?
Yeah,
track?
I don't get that.
Because I think Time's Up OC is a bar for bar track.
Nah,
Like there's unforgettable lines in there that
it's
like
it's unforgettable lines, and it's like yo, the record has there's so much scratching. Like Premier has done some scratching. It's like that's if that's what you want to call bar. You know what I'm saying? It is a bar, but the scratch records is like yo, you know what? He'll put this in. It's like where it's like their time is limited. Hard Rocks too. Like rappers are in danger. Like they're crazy quotes in the song, but we used to look for those like he said this, and it's like
right.
and it's gone. One day
I agree with that.
One day you had all these remarkable records sayings, and it's like yo, it's gone today.
The one-liners.
The one-liners is like yo,
that a DJ would cut up in a song. Like what would Premier cut up in a song? All of those one-liners are gone.
Yo, he's got to refrain from the new shit, and he got to go to the old shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Nas is famous for one-liners. Like yo, we used to take choruses, and it's like yo, this is a chorus. Like Nas is. The simple poetry is like yo, the poetry like how niggas rap is like, that's the gem.
When do you think that started changing? Like what year?
Shit, it became broken nowadays and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no real bars out. Well, not bars. It's like yo, there's no quick sayings. Like even though it's like I'm out for presidents to represent me. Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. There's no song where it's like you could take it's like yo I need to make a song about this.
But I'm saying like to you, in your opinion, when did like hip hop and rap change? So, like
when everybody started doing it. So for real, like yo, when it was able for a person to just walk off the street and make a record, that's when the bar changed.
When do you think that is?
I have no idea.
A lot of New Yorkers or a lot of East Coast people would say maybe like towards the mid 2000s when like maybe Atlanta and snap music started kind of taking over a little bit. And like,
but it was dope. Like what ATL was doing was dope because it's like they were making songs and making hit records, and it's like nowadays it's like yo, no hits. That is fast fused.
How does that affect you in your beat making process? When you like, what? How does the field affect you when you make beats?
I've learned to not listen to anything. So I immerse myself with 90s, like Jay-Z, Nas, Mobb Deep, and it's like I want Prodigy. I want to be in there.
You have no consideration for anything that might seem trendy or relevant in music right now.
For starters, like music is supposed to be competitive. Mm-hmm. Like when say like when you when Biggie made a beat, like rap to a beat, like yo, that rhyme is hot, man. I gotta bust your ass on this. You know what I'm saying, and that was it. It's like yo, I'm gonna do my thing. But people rap is like yo for a sport, and now rapping in the sport, rapping is just like you say bars.
There's also a significant change in like the labels, right? They stopped supporting hip hop. It's like almost like they pulled the plug on hip hop to a certain degree.
But that's because the excitement went away. When if you had an artist this exciting, you're not going to be like, yo, leave that over there. You're going to be like, yo, I can make a lot of money with this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and that's the thing.
Do you think part of the decline of how people feel about the music comes from some of the artists maybe kind of doing the Fonzie and jumping over the bridge with like people that weren't as talented and walking them through?
Sometimes, because like even for the artists now, I think like like Ransom is from the time. It's like like definitely he spits fire, but sometimes like on his albums, it's like it's made like a little more laid back because it's like it's no competition. Like he's amazing. Like he's it's nothing bad I could say about him, but it's like people like you making an album, you could probably rhyme any way you want.
You know what I think too? Another problem would happen as far as with hip hop is that the time we were talking about, and you had like a breeding ground, like with college radio, and you had like a way for them to nurture a certain amount, a group or a sound, and they had enough time to like kind of make their mistakes, but find out what was working and improve on it before they got to the big stations. And it seemed like just with the big stations, it was like all they cared about was the song that you had at the moment. Yeah, they didn't really care about what you were going to do as
there's
a group.
No demo or A&R stage.
Yeah,
there's no
it's the development
stage.
The development wasn't there. So like a lot of the guys that would do like college radio, you would hear their first records or their first efforts or their first freestyles, and you would see the elevation of how they would get better with their song. Huh? Yeah.
Stretch and Bobbito, like every record came from Stretch and Bobbito, from Nas, from fucking Black Moon, from fucking Wu-Tang. That was the epitome of college radio. That was the place where it's like, you test it. Like I could rap. Like my shit is dope. If Stretch and Bobbito, if they played your shit, you was on your way.
And then the sounds, even the producers, if you were coming and you were trying to come up and you were trying to, make a name for yourself, you knew where the field was at because they played all different types of stuff all across the country. So you knew exactly how you can fit in or stand out, And I don't think that development was really there in the 2000s.
Yeah.
I think probably like, people. Well, I know from Stretching them, it's like, they got off the radio in probably 2000 what? And they split, and it's like, it became boring. It's like people was like, like all these people, like they started having jobs in radio, and it's like this one is like, the program director, and Stretching them is like, there was no program director, there was no overseer where it's like, you had to play this, and it's like, the with Stretch, and it's like the remarkable thing was like if a record was on Stretch and Bob the Thursday, Flex might play it Friday, and it was a gradual uplift where it's like, this is school you went to, and it's like, like in school, like, I'm on Stretch, it's like, they playing is like, niggas is feeling it. Like Wu-Tang went from Stretch and Bobbito, and it's like, and Flex the next year, like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
So it's like that breeding ground, like I was saying before. It's like the college radio and the mixtape circuit, because all of those were thriving at the same time. So even on the mixtapes, like a lot of people would get their freestyles off, or this is my man, he got a new joint, he just produced for him, you know what I mean? And those records would break through those things, and now there is no real curation from
correct.
You know what I mean? It's just everything is just being pushed out, and there's no real sifter. This is whack, let me get rid of that. You know what I mean? Where we had that before.
I remember when I was there when Cam bought Jewels to Stretch Armstrong crib, because it's like sometimes like, I want to bring my man through, and that's it. And he spit, and it's like he did the freestyle, and it's like, that was that. You had to go through a fucking initiation or whatever, like a test. You can't just rap and be like, I'm dope. Who co-signs you?
The labels downsizing into like the late 2000s, right? They got rid of A&Rs. It was like a huge change in the way music was distributed and developed, and artists were developed. And then it became the SoundCloud era where people were just kind of like searching SoundCloud to discover new artists, but there was nobody curating, or
Yeah, you know what I think that, just from my point of view, I think that a lot of times, like around about the 2000s, when these rappers would have a situation where they would get big and they would have a label, they started putting the homeboys on, and then it became like a little watery. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we got the label. The label's going to pay for you to get this, this money, this, that, and the third. And then they put on a second or third person that they thought was talented, not the first person. You know what I mean?
But, in defense,
yeah,
Memphis Bleak had, the Jay-Z co-sign.
Yeah.
And we got a gold album out of that.
No,
so Bleak was dope, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bleak was needed. I think Bleak was needed. But I'm just saying, after a while, you were there for a couple of years and you started getting a lot more signees, and they not Bleak.
Of course, because like even when you have major figures, which I thought was a dope collaboration or a dope group, they didn't. The label didn't know what to do with them. Because it's like, it was so many. Like, you know what? How do you market it? How do you make money? The label was making money, and meanwhile, they making records. Beanie brought like the whole Philly up here,
right?
And to avail, it's like, this is they was the next wave of the happening.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, they had so many dope artists, and it's like it's not funny.
You made a lot of dope records for Rockefeller at that time. For Memphis, you made what you think of that, right? That was like kind of a tunnel banger.
Yeah,
Yeah. Why you say yeah? Like, what is their reluctance?
But I think like sometimes it's like, I need that supreme tunnel banger, and if I can't reach that, it's like, it was a dope record, but it wasn't like it was, and it had Hov on it, but it wasn't Jay-Z status. It was like, it wasn't my mind right.
So you put a lot of pressure on yourself though, right? Because you want that.
Yeah,
because that's the era you want a tunnel banger.
That's where we at. Where it's like, even DJing, it's like, yo, you killed that, man. It's like, I got a top Goldfinger. It's like, and that's what was needed.
Right.
Not be like, I'm gonna do my joint. Like, hell no. Know what I'm saying? I want a joint. It's like, I want a supreme banger. I want the record everybody playing. It's like, and that's needed.
But you definitely got one with Black Rob and Whoa.
Yeah.
That was undeniable.
That was undeniable, but it's like, it was more to come. Like the record I did for Loon, I thought it was gonna be it, but it's like, he quit. He quit rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was I'll Be There For You.
That was a dope record.
Yeah, but it's like sometimes it's like with artists, it's like, you could fail, and it's like, or you could quit, and it's like, or you could go to the promised land. And that was one where it's like he quit, but it's like he quit rapping, but it's like, that was a record. You know what I'm saying? 702 is like, that was a dope record. It's like, there was more dope records than it's like, that came to fruition where it's like them than his. You know what I'm saying? And like, God bless Pharrell, but it's like, I was like, damn, man, it's like every time it's like, they get records they hit. You know what I'm saying?
But for like Black Rob Whoa, right? That record, like, were you in the tunnel? Did you see that shit when it, like, did you see the room erupt when that shit dropped? Nah? You wasn't outside and like you wasn't in the tunnel?
I was in the studio. Like, for real, it's like, the problem is like, you know what? When you get a hit, it's like, make another one. That's what everybody want. They want to come to you. They want the hit. They want something close to it, and it's like, that's what it is.
There's a long history behind that song, Whoa, right? We had Hop from Rockefeller, Kiambo, on the podcast, and he told us like a few years ago that one of the beats that Jay-Z turned down was Black Rob Whoa. And
I got a story to tell.
And I got a story
Foxy
to tell.
had that first, all right?
No, Jay-Z had it first.
Really?
I got a story to tell?
Yeah.
Wow.
But then it's like, after Jay-Z had it, Tone and them was gonna get Jay to write it for Foxy.
Sheesh. And then it got to Biggie?
Biggie was like, I'll take that.
The story of a beat, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How long did it take to get to Black Rob? Whoa.
I say about probably a few weeks, and it's like
It was very quick.
Yeah, and it's like it was done quick.
Was there a buzz around that beat?
No,
I
I remember Lenny in the office, like, yo, like he had the test press because he was a bad boy, and one of the test presses, like, yo, he would play it loud, and it's like, and the whole office would erupt, and it's like, yo, he's like, yo, you know what, y'all gonna regret this. I was like, yo, what do you mean?
He told Jay that shit?
No, Jay wasn't there.
Oh. Who do you say? Who do you tell that you're gonna regret this?
Probably like Bleak, probably Bleak was there, but Bleak openly says it, like, yo, you know, I passed on that beat.
Oh, so oh my God, Bleak passed on Whoa as well.
It wasn't for him, you know. Certain beats, like, yo, what I've learned is like, yo, every beat ain't for everybody. It's
Right.
like, yo, that was tailored for like R.O.A.D, and you know, the magic happened.
Did you know when you heard Rob's? Were you there when Rob recorded it?
My homeboy was like, yo, you know that, yo, this gonna be this is the one. I thought it was a catchy tune. I put it this way, I didn't know the levels it would hit.
You should have been outside. You should have came out to the club.
So you,
I did, like, you know.
so you underestimated a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like if you get a hit, like Shook Ones is like, yo, that was everywhere. It was the club was like, yo, breathing Shook Ones. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. It's like the club was breathing. Like you could hear, like you could feel the pulse, like the Benjamins. Like the pulse is like crazy. Like I remember, like SNS put it on this tape, and it's like, yo, it went crazy.
To this day, when you hear Whoa, how do you feel about it now?
It's cool,
It's cool. Wow.
but you know, is as many countries as, like, you know, they play it in. You know, I'll be like, yo, you know, that was a dope tune. It's like, you know, sorry for Rob, like, yo,
Rest in
Rob
peace.
could have really, you know, did his thing.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane. Were there any other beats that were intended for artists and they kind of turned it down and it went somewhere else?
I don't remember, but I think everything went where it's supposed to be. You know?
God, that's so crazy that you were never in the clubs to like see Whoa just like erupt.
I wasn't in the big clubs. I was like the lounges and shit in New York. Like,
Yeah.
I seen that.
It's crazy because I talked to Hop, Kiambo from Rockefeller, and he says the same thing where he never went out during that time, and he kind of always wondered how the songs were in the clubs. So he loves hearing like DJs talk about it. Like when you were playing Whoa in the clubs, that shit was like a monster, right?
Rob was there every week. Club New York. Club New York. He was there every week, and that shit would just grow from week to week to week to week to week to week.
That's crazy. Cause even when like when with Rob, it's like, yo, he's like, yo, thank you, man. It's like, yo, you gave me the, like, yo, what are you thanking me for? Like, yo, you made the record. So he's like, yo, you know, this record took him around the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like it kept growing and growing and growing. And I never understood it. It's like, yo, you know, this is what it's like to have a certified, like, you know, hit.
Crazy. And so you were never outside when they dropped I Got a Story to Tell Biggie? Never.
I was in a tunnel once.
Once?
Yeah.
Only once.
I was in the tunnel once. It's like, yo, you know, I wasn't there every week. You know, I was like, yo, you know, they dropped it. It's like, okay, cool. This is what it's like.
Oh my God. Do you feel like towards the 2000s, like the sound and expectations of like hip hop and R&B shifted? And then do you feel like you were stereotyped as a certain producer and you had to break the stereotypes, or?
Well, I had a vast amount of records that came out in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And by I say 2010, you know, where it's like everybody was doing SoundCloud beats, and it's like, you know, it's like, yo, it got kind of boring. You know, it's no like, oh, you know, you need a joint. It's like, yo, you can get with you could have Buck come through, and it's like, yo, play joints. And it's like, yo, it's no studio. It was all email beats. It was crazy.
So you felt like a bit uninspired.
Yeah. And plus the records it was released, it's like, yo, you know, it was some South shit, but it's like then in the 2010s the South really made a resurgence, and it's like they was in the South where it's like, oh, you know what, I'm having a studio, like I'm gonna take you a studio. It's like, yo, T.I. be in this room, and it's like 2 Chainz in this room, and it's like I didn't know where it's like, yo, you know, change locations. Mm-hmm. If I would have did that, like, yo, you know, that would have been it.
But you know, listening to this Saigon album, the new one that you guys worked on, I mean, the beats sound amazing. They sound great.
Thank
sound
you.
better than ever, and I can't believe that's 7 years ago. You know,
That's crazy. I just heard the single. I haven't heard the album just yet.
Album is amazing.
But the single, it sounds. I was kicking you when I heard the fucking sample. I was like, damn, I wanted to use that shit. That's a joint.
I beat you to it.
Yeah, you damn sure did. You damn sure did. That shit is crazy.
But you know, people are responding great to it.
yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's not a whole plethora of people, like, you know, but the buzz is there. And it's like, if we had a superstar, you know, promotion person, we could knock this shit out the park. But it's made the same way as, like, you know, the first album probably was like, you know, 3 singles. Mm-hmm. You know, the first single you heard is like 3 or 4 singles, and a bunch of album cuts that's really dope.
Yeah, I don't even think that with an album like that with Saigon, you need singles. I think the project alone is very reminiscent to like an Alchemist, you know, Freddie Gibbs, or even like a Nas and Hit Boy. Like it just sounds like
Better as a complete.
it's
project.
a complete
Yeah.
project,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, but it's like no singles.
But I don't think you need singles. I don't think this is the day and age
and
for
a
singles.
single,
Yeah,
in the day and age,
yeah.
like singles is missing, and they play too much album cuts like on the radio, but the singles is missing.
I think you're beyond the radio and singles. I think it's like when I heard the album, I said this is a Grammy nominee.
I think what you're saying is like I can appreciate it, but you do need singles. It's like if Biggie never had a single.
I think in 2025, even in the 2020s, I think the hip hop and that album that you made is not. It shouldn't be in the realm of singles. It's kind of like a different form of. It's what would you call that kind of hip hop? It's like.
Now?
Yeah, it's not the kind of hip. I don't think it's the kind of hip hop that would have a single or be on the radio. I mean, the single.
But the song he has is a radio joint.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I was more impressed, because I was like, yo, he actually has, like, this can go. Like, this record has legs.
Yeah,
Because I hadn't heard the album.
See, I see the project alone as just like this
No,
is a
but-
Grammy nominee.
this is the not the problem, but this is the solution. If they had more or less superstar singles, like picture of Nas is if you had made You Look on a Hit Boy song. Made You Look can go, and it went. It's like this went around the world. But Made You Look is the shit that propels the single that propels, and you know it opens the door for the other Nas songs.
I think it's too. I think the sound. I mean, I think the music that is like played on radio and the clubs, I think it's too juvenile and young. I feel like what the project you and Saigon made is more sophisticated. It's more mature.
Yeah, I figure.
Yeah.
But it's like it has space for, like, you know, younger kids. It's like, you know, well, young kids, it's like they can groove to it too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you know, I dig this song you made. This song is really dope.
Yeah.
But, you know, I say you need the radio because it's like, for, you know, if you want to have a successful album, because it's like, yo, without the radio, people don't really know what it is, you know, and that's that.
It's amazing what he was saying as far as with you having these musical beds, but they don't sound the same. Your beats don't sound the same.
No.
So what do you consider your sound? Like when you're digging for stuff, what are you digging for? Because none of the beats kind of sound the same, but you have a sound.
I dig for shit that doesn't sound like anybody. Shit that you never heard of. And that's it. And that's and like even when you listen to the Saigon album, you hear samples like, you know, some people like, you know, oh, the church shit, you know, I kind of get it's like, you know, you have familiar sounds where it's like, yo, people have caught up. You know what I'm saying? It's like now I get to be like, yo, you know what? This is what it is. Because in my computer, I have the records I collect is like no other. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I was and it's the same thing when it's like when you heard Time Is Up. When today in the game, it's like when I produce a song, it's the same steps as like, you know, producing a song back when. The first time you heard Stress, it's like, yo, people told me like, yo, I never heard nothing like this. And that's what I want people to say is like, yo, we'll get a feeling where it's like you never felt before.
What's great about the Saigon album too, like seeing a whole project that you produced, it's like the drums change with every beat. The drum snares, the bass, the kicks, everything changes, and it really complements the sample. Whereas like most producers, they'd use the same, you know, hi-hats, they use the same snares, they use the same kicks, but it's like there's different drums on almost every song.
I think that, well, maybe I think, you know, that's dope because it's like, for the feeling, because it's like the sound of, you know, the sound has to, you know, every drum track has to resonate with the loop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like it has to match, and it's like you got to feel the music.
But it's crazy because it's almost like you're a chameleon. Like you have a signature sound, but you don't have it.
It's a quality. It's just quality. It's like, you know, you're gonna get a quality joint.
Right.
You hear a Buck joint, but it doesn't necessarily sound the same.
But it's like, I think we were speaking with Rashad Smith about the same thing, where you're so much of a chameleon that it's almost hard to like place you of like, oh well, that's a Neptune sound, or that's a Timbaland sound,
basically,
because you're kind of like,
you have a lot of different styles.
You're serving the music in a record so much, and it's like you're not placing maybe your style or your, you know, like yourself.
There's not like a
record.
trademark on your thing, but it's a quality there. You know what I mean? Like Time's Up doesn't sound like, you know, the organized confusion joint. You know what I mean? It just doesn't.
It doesn't sound like, you know, anything. It doesn't sound like I got a story to tell. It doesn't sound like Whoa. It doesn't sound like the Memph Bleak. It doesn't sound like anything. It's always different.
You said 13, like that's the joint. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite records.
13 was my shit.
You know? But I didn't notice till the internet came that people really kind of fuck with my production, but it's like,
really?
Yeah.
You're your own worst critic, right? You're so hard on yourself, do you think?
Yeah. I'll be like, yo, you know what? It's not it.
Really?
It's not. If it ain't a single, it's not it.
Do you feel like that kind of sometimes gets in the way of you just making music freely?
No, I make music freely, but take a song I did for Joe. It's like it took me like when I heard the song, it's like, yo,
Fat Joe.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this got to be it. And it's like, yo, he's like, yo, now you cooking.
Which track?
That might be his biggest
Live
record.
My Lifestyle.
My Lifestyle.
Right,
that might be his best record. That might be his best record.
And it's a simple record, and Joe is flowing simple on it. It's like, yo, it's not, you know, no fucking Coke record. It's like, it's no club record. It's like people love the record.
That was one of those records that you were kind of like skeptical on if it was working or not, or you knew instantly it was working? Nah,
I knew it was working because it's like my homeboy LV was DJing for Joe.
Oh, shout out to LV.
And
yeah,
he like he did the Flex car show, and they played the record, and it's like niggas lost their mind.
Wow.
It sounds like a theme song.
Yeah.
My lifestyle is, you know, I know he has bigger records, he has Lean Back and all that other stuff, but that says Joe more than any other record, even more so than Flow Joe. Like you hearing it, I think so. I think My Lifestyle is even. It says if you saw Joe and you played My Lifestyle in the background, you'd be like, "That's Fat Joe."
I like Fat Joe. I like Flo Joe.
Flo Joe was great. No, Flo Joe was dope. But I just think if you see him now,
but it's dope hearing it from somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever like have talks with the crew, digging in the crates, DITC, of like having a project come out?
yeah, for real.
No project.
No project. There's no talks. There's nothing.
Y'all could have put about 4 or 5 DITC albums out by now.
With the talent that these guys have, right? Finesse, Diamond, Show.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a album where it's like, yo, you know what? We're gonna produce this artist, and it's like, this would be Jay-Z artist, or just this would be Freeway, and we could have did that.
Or just do a compilation with whatever person you wanted to work with and just introduce them and bring it onto the album. 2 songs.
It's hard.
2 songs.
It's hard. It's hard to really find people that agree, but it's kind of hard where it's like the talent. You want the talent to be at a high level, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and people aren't rhyming over a high level like that.
Well, what about, because all of them rhyme. Show rhymes, Diamond rhymes, Lord Finesse. Just put out their own one record and put it on a compilation or whatever.
Diamond is dope. Finesse is dope. You're preaching to the choir.
Oh, okay.
When it's like that.
Okay.
You're kind of saying it's hard to get everyone on the same page.
Probably. You know what I'm saying?
How often do you see like Diamond or Showbiz or Finesse?
I speak to Finesse more because it's like, as talented as Finesse is, I'm like, yo, where's the album? Where's the album? Yo, I'm working. I be ready to say, yo, fuck that DJ and shit. Like, yo, you put out, you know.
That's my man on tour right now, right?
He's an incredible DJ, but it's like, yo, we want to hear the music. You know what I'm saying? The remixes is dope, but it's like, yo, where's the rhymes at? You know? And sometimes, like, and Show is like the same way. The Show don't want to rhyme. Like, yo, rhyming is for the birds. It's like, I ain't fucking with that shit. And he can rhyme. Like, yo, nigga, if I had your rhymes, it's like, yo, I'll be making mad shit. Yeah. And Diamond, it's like, yo, that's all. It's like, he probably is like, yo, you know what? I'll wait for y'all. But I ain't gonna wait all day.
Where do your passions lie right now? Like, is there a new project or anything that you're kind of focused on, that you're kind of motivated to work on?
Yeah, I'm kind of motivated to work with AG. You know what I'm saying? So,
wow.
Like, AG is progressed over the years. Most rappers decline. AG has surpassed that.
Wow.
You know? And I want to hear what we come up with.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because it's like,
y'all been working in the studio recently?
Nah, we about to work, but also I'll go back to where I started and I'll say OC.
That'd be crazy.
Because it's like, it's only right that we make a perfect circle where it's like, we go back to one. I gotta find and beat like, yo, you know what? This is like, time is up. This will make you make your mark.
Yeah. Even Pharoahe Monch was Time's Up supposed to be Pharoahe Monch's?
Yeah, he didn't know what to do in the song.
Really? Did he lay anything down on Time's Up?
He was like, yo, fuck it, take it.
Wow. That would have been amazing.
Wow.
But it would have, but it's like, the song would have been totally different.
No, right? Totally.
It might not have been the classic that it is.
Did he, after the song came out, did he think about, yo, I should put something on it, or freestyle or anything like that to it?
Like, he has classics, and it's like, Pharoahe, like, yo, peak with yo, he has his new album retarded. And I'm not on it, but it's like, yo, he has some incredible producers. He has incredible ideas, but like, yo, he's an artist, and it's like he's not. Oh, you know, I'm gonna just freestyle this rhyme, and it's like he's an artist.
Like it shit has purpose.
Yeah,
he puts it down. Yeah.
If you say the right thing, you'll make something monumental. And there hasn't been many monumental records out here.
Yeah.
Not, you know, besides like Not Like Us, where it's like it's made a global phenomenon.
How did you feel about Not Like Us and the whole beef, or I mean, the whole battle between Drake?
I didn't care for the battle, but I like Not Like Us as a song because it's like it showed people. It proved my point where it's like, yo, you got to make records for the masses, and it's like, yo, you could have the record, and it's like it could go everywhere, where it's like everybody can play it. You could play it in a strip club. You could play it, you know, in a regular party. It's like hip hop people. It's what it is. It's like the records that, you know, in the 90s. It's like they went everywhere. Wu-Tang was everywhere. It's like I don't care if you liked it. Bad Boy was everywhere, and it's like, yo, people make, you know, local records.
Right. It's too specific and like segregated, like to certain regions and crowds now. There is nothing that hits on a universal scale anymore.
I think people are being rewarded to do the same thing over and over again. It's like if people were rewarded for being different, then that probably would be different.
Like you say Biggie did it, but a part of me is like, oh, you know, people be like, oh, you know, that's Biggie, ain't no Biggie no more. But aspire to be that guy. And when you aspire to be that guy, it's like, yo, it's a different level. And it's like, you know, God bless Freddie and a lot of these hip hop artists now, but they not really kind of superstars. Where's the superstar? You could take Cardi B and it's like, oh, you know, that's that. But you know, she's a different level. Maybe hip hop is split into like an amoeba. You know what I'm saying? Like different pockets.
Yeah.
Have you ever been starstruck meeting anybody? Who have you been starstruck meeting?
Besides Erykah Badu.
Damn, man. I get that way with Busta.
Oh wow,
really?
You know, and I know Busta. Like we frequently talk, but it's like, yo, I'm like I haven't given Busta I've given Busta a beat tape one time. It's like, yo, whatever, but I don't shop beats to Busta. It's like I don't. And Redman, it's like I did a joint for Redman. It's like, and it was on a video game, but people like, yo, you know what? Yo, that's a dope joint, but it's like I don't shop beats to Redman like that. You know, of a fair, like, oh, you know, like you hear the shit the nigga make, like, oh man, you got to compete with this, like Rockwaller.
Who's your top three rappers, lyricists of all time that you've worked with that completely blew you away and pause in the studio?
Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas.
How about for producers, like just inspiration wise? Who would be those guys that you like always?
I could say Just Blaze because it's like, yo. I could say Finesse. It's like, yo. I could say Bink. I could say Rockwaller. A bunch of producers, like, yo, they inspire me. These are the guys that, like, yo, inspire me to do better. I don't want to do the same. I just want to do better. And that's what it is. It's like, that's crazy.
Buckwild, thanks so much for coming through. We're going to look out for this AG project possibly.
Yeah.
Dropping soon. That'll be amazing.
Maybe next year.
Oof. Maybe we can make it like a whole DITC.
Yeah, we're going to try to see if we can get the DITC.
They all in different states.
Matter of fact, help us get Diamond on the show. We want to get Diamond on the show.
Oh,
so you gotta
that's
help
a
us
phone call away.
Okay.
All right, done deal.
You know?
Buckwild. Thank you for coming through, man.
Yeah.
If you want to watch more episodes from R.O.A.D Podcast, click either links on the left or the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new uploads throughout the week. Peace.